Hello, my dear friends. We're about to embark on a journey into the heart of a rather profound and, dare I say, somewhat melancholic mystery. Why this world, this magnificent, messy, vibrant, and sometimes heartbreaking place, is so undeniably a realm of transience and decay. We're not just talking about leaves falling in autumn or rust on old bicycles. We're diving deep into the very fabric of reality, exploring the forces that seem to conspire to make everything, from the smallest grain of sand to the mightiest mountain, impermanent. It's a vast landscape we'll be traversing, full of fascinating paths and shadowy corners. So let's begin our exploration with curiosity as our compass and wonder as our guide. Part 1. The Grand Dance of Impermanence. A cosmic overview. Let's start with the big picture, shall we? Let's zoom out, far, far out, beyond the Earth, beyond our solar system, and even beyond the Milky Way, to the cosmic stage where the drama of transience and decay truly unfolds. 1. The universe, a symphony of constant change. The universe, in its staggering immensity, is not a static backdrop. It's not a perfectly crafted jewel placed on a velvet cloth. Oh no, it's a dynamic, ever-evolving entity, a constant flux of creation and destruction, expansion and contraction. Think of it as an endless, cosmic dance, where everything, from the smallest subatomic particle to the largest galaxy, is caught in a ballet of impermanence. The birth and death of stars, those celestial beacons that have guided humanity for millennia, are born from vast clouds of gas and dust, the remnants of previous stellar generations. They live out their luminous lives, fusing hydrogen into helium and other elements, pouring energy into the cosmos. But their time is finite. Some will gently fade into white dwarfs. Others will explode in spectacular supernovae, seeding the universe with the very building blocks for new stars and planets. This cycle of birth and death, the dramatic rise and fall of stellar giants, is a fundamental expression of the transient nature of the cosmos. It's a reminder that even the most seemingly permanent things have their end. Galactic evolution. Galaxies themselves, those sprawling islands of stars, are not immune to the currents of change. They collide, merge, and morph over eons, their spiral arms stretching and swirling in response to gravitational forces. The very shapes and structures we see today are just snapshots in a continuous process of transformation. What seems ancient and unchanging is, in reality, just another scene in a long, unfolding narrative. Expansion of the universe. Perhaps the most striking illustration of the universe's inherent dynamism is its continuous expansion. The very fabric of space-time itself is stretching, carrying galaxies further and further apart. This expansion is not a smooth, uniform process, but rather a constant pushing and pulling, a grand cosmic sigh that resonates with the rhythm of impermanence. 2. The second law of thermodynamics. Entropy's silent reign. Now, let's delve into one of the most fundamental laws of physics, the second law of thermodynamics, often described as the law of entropy. It's a principle that, at its heart, explains the natural tendency of everything to move from a state of order to disorder. Order to disorder. Think of a meticulously organized room. Over time, without constant effort, it will inevitably become cluttered and disorganized. This isn't just about messy roommates. It's a reflection of the second law. In any closed system, entropy, the measure of disorder or randomness, tends to increase. Energy, like a restless child, spreads out from concentrated areas to more dispersed forms, and thus systems transition from organized to disorganized. Energy and transformation. Everything that exists and transpires in the universe is powered by energy transformations. Stars, for example, use the energy of nuclear fusion, This energy is never lost, but it does degrade to less usable forms. Similarly, when we use fuel for our cars or digest food, energy dissipates through heat and other forms, increasing the overall entropy of the universe. The arrow of time. This inexorable increase in entropy is also linked to the very concept of time. The second law provides us with the arrow of time, the sense that time moves forward and not backward. The reason we cannot put a shattered cup back together or a decomposed apple back into a fresh apple is all due to entropy increasing. It's the fundamental principle that drives all change towards greater disorder and randomness, which essentially makes our world a playground for transience and decay. 3. Quantum mechanics, the realm of probability and uncertainty. If the classical laws of physics are painting a picture of gradual decay, the bizarre world of quantum mechanics introduces us to the very essence of probabilistic and uncertain existence. The unfixed reality. In the quantum world, particles don't have definite positions or velocities until they are measured. Instead, they exist in a state of probability, a haze of possibilities that only materialize when observed. This inherent uncertainty isn't a result of our poor measuring skills. It's a fundamental aspect of reality itself. This means that even at the tiniest scales, the universe is a realm of flux and potential, where nothing is ever truly fixed or permanent. Quantum fluctuations, where particles pop in and out of existence from seemingly empty space, also demonstrate that emptiness and nothingness themselves are not passive entities. They are bubbling with energy and fleeting possibilities. This ceaseless activity, even at the smallest scales, shows us that change is not just a phenomenon, it's the very fabric of existence. The spookiness of entanglement. Quantum entanglement, where two particles become intertwined regardless of the distance between them, demonstrates a strange interconnectedness that transcends space and time. This mysterious link is a reminder that reality is far more intertwined and fluid than our everyday intuitions might suggest. Part 2. The earthly stage. Transience and decay up close. After taking a cosmic detour, let's descend back to Earth, our home, and explore how these fundamental principles manifest in the world we experience daily. It's here that we truly witness the intimate dance of creation and destruction, birth and decay. 1. The biological imperative, life, death, and the cycle of rebirth. Life, in all its diversity and splendor, is a testament to the power of the universe, but it is also, ironically, a powerful illustration of its impermanence. The cell cycle. Every living organism, from the single-celled amoeba to the complex human being, is governed by the cycle of cells. Cells are born, grow, perform their function, and ultimately die, their components recycled to create new cells. This constant flux is not only a driving force of life, but also the most intimate and basic example of decay and rebirth. The aging process. The aging process, from the first signs of gray hair to the gradual decline in physical abilities, is a physical representation of the second law of thermodynamics playing out on a biological level. Our cells, over time, become less efficient, accumulating damage and entropy. The intricate machinery of our bodies is slowly subject to the forces of wear and tear. It's a stark and poignant reminder that our physical form is not immune to the constant tug of transience. The cycle of life and death. Death, the great mystery, and often the source of profound grief, is an integral part of the biological cycle. What we might perceive as a finality, in a grander sense, is a necessary process of breaking down organic matter and making the vital building blocks for new life. It is a transition, not an end, in the endless circle of creation and renewal. Every single atom of us will return to the earth. Evolution and adaptation. The very process of evolution is a testament to impermanence. Species change and adapt over generations, constantly responding to environmental pressures. What was perfectly adapted for a particular environment becomes obsolete as conditions change, leading to extinction and the rise of new life forms. This dynamic process demonstrates that nothing is static and adaptation and change are necessary for survival. 2. Geological forces, the sculptors of impermanence. The Earth itself is a dynamic planet, shaped and reshaped by powerful geological forces that are constantly changing the landscape and influencing the planet. Erosion and weathering. Mountains, those seemingly immovable giants, are constantly being worn down by the relentless forces of erosion and weathering. Wind, water, ice, and temperature fluctuations all contribute to the slow but inevitable degradation of rock formations. What seems permanent on human timescales is but a temporary pause in the long, slow dance of geological change. Plate tectonics. The Earth's crust is divided into massive plates that are constantly moving and interacting, causing earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and the formation of mountain ranges. These forces not only dramatically change the landscape, but also bring new land to the surface and recycle geological materials. This is an ongoing cycle of creation and destruction that is constantly reshaping our world. The rock cycle. The very ground beneath our feet is composed of rocks that are constantly being formed, broken down, and reformed. Igneous rocks are formed from molten magma, sedimentary rocks from accumulated sediments, and metamorphic rocks through intense heat and pressure. This endless cycle of transformations highlights the transient nature of even the most seemingly permanent geological structures. 3. Natural catastrophes, the shocks of change. The Earth is not always a placid place. It experiences periodic natural catastrophes that serve as a reminder of the inherent volatility and impermanence of our existence. Volcanic eruptions. Volcanic eruptions are dramatic displays of the Earth's inner power, capable of transforming landscapes in a matter of days. They can release vast amounts of ash and lava, covering the land with a blanket of destruction that can make way for new life over time. This is an example of nature's destructive potential, which is part of the larger process of change and renewal. Earthquakes. Earthquakes, sudden shifts in the Earth's crust, can cause widespread destruction and devastation. They are a stark reminder of the dynamic forces that exist beneath our feet and the fragility of the structures we build. They show the delicate and unpredictable nature of our home and highlight the transient nature of human constructions. Storms and hurricanes. Powerful storms and hurricanes, swirling behemoths of wind and water, can unleash torrential rains, flooding, and coastal erosion. They can dramatically reshape coastlines and remind us of the power of nature to reshape our environment. Part 3. Human agency. Our role in the dance of transience. Now, let's turn our attention to ourselves, humanity, the sentient beings who are not merely observers of this cosmic and earthly dance, but active participants. Our actions, our creations, and our very existence are inextricably linked to the forces of transience and decay. 1. The built environment, the impermanence of our creations. We as humans are builders. We construct homes, cities, and monuments, striving to leave our mark on the world. But even our most ambitious constructions are not immune to the inexorable march of time. The inevitability of decay, no matter how carefully constructed, buildings eventually succumb to the elements. Concrete crumbles, metal rusts, and wood rots. The very materials we use to build our civilization are inherently transient, susceptible to the forces of weathering, erosion, and even human neglect. Our creations are not meant to last forever. They are destined for the earth in a different way. Cycles of construction and demolition, Cities are constantly evolving, with old buildings being torn down to make way for new ones. This cycle of construction and demolition is a testament to the impermanence of the built environment. What we see as permanent now will eventually be replaced by something new, echoing the rhythms of change. The archaeological record. The ruins of ancient civilizations serve as a powerful reminder of the impermanence of human societies. We study these relics, marveling at the ingenuity and ambition of the people who built them, but we also recognize that even the grandest empires eventually fall. Our time on this earth will only leave relics of a time that once was. 2. The social and cultural sphere, the fluidity of ideas. Beyond the physical realm, the social and cultural aspects of human existence are also characterized by transience and constant change. The evolution of ideas. Ideas, beliefs, and social norms are not static entities. They evolve and change over time, influenced by cultural interactions, technological developments, and the changing needs and perspectives of society. What was once considered sacred can be challenged and eventually discarded. The rise and fall of cultures. Throughout history, cultures have risen, flourished, and eventually declined or transformed. This ebb and flow of cultural influence is a reminder that human societies are not immune to the forces of change. Our cultural creations are part of an ever-changing tapestry of human experience. Language as a living entity. Languages, the very fabric of our communication, are also subject to constant change. Words are created and old words disappear, spellings are modified, and usage changes over time. Languages are fluid and ever-evolving, a testament to the transient nature of our shared cultural heritage. 3. The ephemeral nature of human experience, our fleeting lives. Perhaps the most personal and poignant manifestation of transience is the brevity of human life itself. The passage of time. Our lives are measured in time, and time, like a river, is constantly flowing. The past recedes into memory, and the future is an ever-present promise. The very awareness of our own mortality is a deep and profound experience that frames all that we do. The ephemeral nature of emotions. Emotions, those powerful forces that color our experiences, are also transient. Joy and sorrow, love and loss, all come and go, their intensity shifting with the passage of time. Our experiences and inner states are not permanent, they too change with time. The transience of memory. Our memories, the very repository of our personal history, are also imperfect and prone to fading. The details blur over time, and the very act of remembering can alter the experiences that are recorded. The imperfect and transient nature of our memories is another poignant reminder of how much change and transience there is in our lives. Part 4. Embracing transience, finding meaning in impermanence. So, here we stand, face to face with the overwhelming evidence of our world's inherent transience and decay. It might seem like a rather depressing conclusion, but this doesn't have to be the case. Instead, what if we learn to accept and even embrace the impermanence of our existence? 1. The beauty of impermanence. Instead of viewing transience as something to be feared or lamented, what if we were to see it as a source of beauty and wonder? The fleeting nature of beauty, the beauty of a sunset, the blooming of a flower, the laughter of a child. These moments are all the more precious because they are fleeting. Knowing that they will not last forever imbues them with a special kind of intensity and meaning. The very fact that they are transient makes them far more special. The value of change, even when it is difficult, is essential for growth and adaptation. It allows us to learn, to evolve, and to experience the full spectrum of human emotions. Without change, life would become stagnant and meaningless. This is our opportunity to be grateful for every moment, the opportunity for appreciation. The awareness of our own mortality can motivate us to live our lives more fully and appreciate the fleeting moments that fill our days. It reminds us to be present, to cherish our loved ones, and to embrace the precious gift of life. Life is like a river ever flowing, and we are just but boats that float along. 2. Letting go and finding peace. Accepting the transience of life can bring a sense of peace and acceptance. The impermanence of suffering. Just as happiness is fleeting, so too is suffering. Understanding that pain and hardship are also transient can bring comfort during difficult times. Knowing that everything changes helps us to find solace in every circumstance. The illusion of control. We often strive to control our lives, to create a sense of permanence and security. However, the very nature of the universe is one of constant change. By letting go of the need for control, we can free ourselves to experience the flow of life as it is. Our ability to let go makes us truly free. Finding contentment in the present. The awareness of transience can encourage us to focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. When we fully embrace the here and now, we can find contentment and joy in the smallest details of our lives. 3. Connecting to the eternal cycle. Even in a world of impermanence, we can find a sense of belonging in the greater cycles of the universe. Our place in the cosmos, recognizing that we are part of the vast and interconnected web of existence, can be deeply comforting. We are made of the same stardust as the galaxies, and our very being is part of the eternal cycle of creation and destruction. The continuity of life. Death is not an end but a transition, and our energy and matter return to the universe to become part of something new. This understanding can bring a sense of peace and connection to the ongoing flow of life. Finding meaning in connection. Perhaps the most profound meaning we can find in a world of transience is in our connection to one another. The bonds we create, the love we share, and the stories we tell are all enduring legacies that transcend our fleeting individual lives. Conclusion: the mystery endures. And so, dear reader, our journey through the realm of transience and decay comes to a close, at least for now. We've explored the cosmic forces that drive change, the biological imperatives of life and death, the geological transformations of the Earth, and the role we humans play in this grand drama. We've seen that transience is not something to be feared or denied. It is the very essence of existence. The question of why this world is a world of transience and decay doesn't necessarily have one definitive answer. It's a puzzle with many pieces, and perhaps the beauty lies not in finding a single, conclusive answer, but in embracing the mystery itself. The universe seems to operate in a way that is both magnificent and, at times, melancholy. Perhaps the universe is just doing what it does, a dance of endless change and renewal. We, as sentient beings, have the opportunity to choose how we respond to this reality. We can either fight against it, clinging to illusions of permanence, or we can embrace it, finding beauty, meaning, and connection in the very fleeting nature of our existence. The journey continues, dear friend, as the mystery unfolds further with every moment. May you find peace, awe, and profound appreciation in the dance of transience, the heart of our incredible, enigmatic world.